want to get set up?
Yes, I will. I will. I'm ready.
Whenever you're ready.
Recording in progress.
I have to call this meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a roll call. Mayor Lindsay,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Here.
Councilman Humbert,
Here.
Councilman Weeks,
Here.
Councilman Crane.
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
This time I'd like to ask for a motion to approve this agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Item A, I'd like to get a motion for discussion action of approval of a new fire chief.
Make a motion for item A, discussion action, approve new fire chief.
Second.
All right. Well, I just want to start off by, first of all, thanking Chief Britnell for serving as an interim. As you all know, he came on as the interim at his request back in January, and he's helped us through quite the last 6 months, and he is grateful for the opportunity, but looks forward to returning to his role as a paramedic, and he will be staying on as a lieutenant here in Angel Fire. But as his replacement, we're very excited to have Jason Vance. He has come to us with over 35 years in fire and emergency medical services, wildland interface, and hazardous materials response. He's got an extensive background and expensive educational background as well. And we do have a copy of his resume if anybody would like to see it. But I'm excited to have Jason Vance as our new fire chief with the council's approval.
Mr. Mayor, the one thing I would like to add, one of my favorite parts of his resume, based on the fact that we're in the process of developing a new Fire Station 1, is that he also has his GB98.
Any further comments or discussion? Mr. Vance?
Mayor Coach,
Of course.
Mr. Mayor, Councilor, Manager Weir, just want to say, I want to echo what you said about T. Bricknell. He's been instrumental in a handoff process, and we've been working for about the last, a couple weeks at least, just trying to catch me up, get me up to speed, and he's been instrumental in doing that. I very much appreciate the work that he's done prior to me entering this position. Also wanted to follow up that I'm very humbled by the position. Love the community up here, and it's really reminded me of grassroots and how good people can be. I get greeted with a smile often and a handshake, and it goes a really long ways. So looking forward to that. We're closing on a property and moving up here full time, and I'm really excited to be here. So thank you very much for offering me the position. I look forward to serving the community and doing a great job for you all. I'm an open book. Please feel free to reach out at any time, and open. My schedule's open. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're ready for a vote.
Okay, roll call. Roll call vote on item A. Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Aye.
Councilman Humbert,
Aye.
Councilman Weeks,
Aye.
Councilman Crane.
Aye.
Pass.
Congratulations. Okay, moving on to item B, discussion action. If I could get a motion for discussion action of the approval of the fiscal year 23 audit.
Make a motion for item B, discussion action, approve fiscal year 23 audit.
I'll second.
We went over this with the auditor, chief auditor, in the work session just prior to this meeting. If anybody in the audience has any questions, I'd be happy to address them as best we can. If not, I think we're ready to move on.
Mr. Mayor, I would just like to say, recommend for the live audience, if you aren't able to view the prior meeting where we spoke with our auditor, I would recommend to the community to go view that first portion of that meeting. It's extremely informative and gives you a good independent view of where the village is from a financial perspective.
In fiscal year '23.
Fiscal year '23, but a lot of it bleeds into the current year as well.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call vote for item B. Mayor Pro Tem Howell.
Aye.
Councilman Hubbard.
Aye.
Councilman Weeks.
Aye.
Councilman Crane.
Aye.
We have four, okay. Pass.
We missed, we had
I
a
know.
question, sorry, I know there was a sign up, but it's usually at the top, so.
And I apologize. Mr. Manley, if you'd like to address the,
I can also wait until the end, doesn't
okay,
it?
we'll put it at the end if it's okay with you.
Yeah, of course.
Apologize.
No.
Moving on to item C, discussion action, approval of the visitor center lease agreement.
Make a motion for item C, discussion action, approve visitor center lease agreement.
I'll second.
So as you all know, this was the lease agreement originally presented to us a week ago, and there was some changes that were requested. I believe everything has been addressed that we had any concerns with, and I believe the resort and the village are on the same page here as far as management's concerned. I will add once again that this is a commercial lease for one of the units in the Frontier Plaza building. I, in my personal business role, have been contracted with the resort to make improvements to that building. And I have also, my wife is working with the resort to lease the 2 units next to the visitor center. So for those reasons, I will abstain from any further comments or discussion.
Would say my concern from the parking lot has been well addressed, and there's no more concerns there for me.
Would you like me, Mr. Mayor, would you like me to review the changes that were negotiated since the last contract, or?
If you can, briefly.
Okay, so real quick, in section 2, under the term, the termination period was extended from 30 days to 90 days. In section 3, paragraph C was totally reworded to clear up the issue with who's going to do snow removal and the issues the village would face in anti-donation with maintenance of the parking area that we weren't directly affected by, and so on. So to my liking, that language was rewritten to be more appropriate. I hope you'll find the same thing. In section 5, paragraph A, the percentage of the administrative fee was previously 20%. We had that lowered to 10%. In paragraph C of section 5, if the tenant fails to commence repairs within, we changed it from 5 days to 7 days to give us a whole week. Again, later in that paragraph, the 20% administrative fee was reduced to 10%. And then the next thing is, if you go all the way to page 5, section 13, paragraph A, if the tenant fails to pay rent, was extended from 5 days to 15 days, which is more reasonable for the way we pay our bills. And then if you go to page 8, paragraph K, the 200% was reduced to 150%. And I think that was reduced in 2 locations. I can't remember where the other one was. And I think previously, we had reduced the percentage on the gross rent adjustment to 12%, a maximum of 12%. That was done in the previous meeting. So those are the changes, unless Mr. Manley, I missed something.
No, manager, mayor, council, no, on the, I believe we changed the dates to give from 5 days to 15
Oh, that's right.
on everything. And then, just to reiterate, the village is receiving essentially most favored nations on this. No one else that goes into that building will do so at a lesser price per square foot. And in talking with the resort CEO, John Kitts, today about the plowing, the resort, I'm just a little unfamiliar as to what's the easiest way to do it. We are going to take care of plowing for the entire complex. So I think those were the only outstanding items. But again, if there is anything else, and when your council reviews it, again, we will work with you. We're happy to have the visitor center there. And like I said, the village will get the best rate. No one will have a better rate to be in there. So, any questions at all for me?
Roll call vote on item C. Mayor Pro Tem Howell.
Aye.
Councilman Hubbard.
Aye.
Councilman Weeks.
Aye.
Councilman Crane.
Aye.
Pass.
Good. So we'll move on to item D. Discussion action, if I could get a motion to approve attorney selection of Stelzner, Winter, Warburton, Flores, and Dawes Attorney Services.
Make a motion on item D, discussion action, approve attorney's selection of Stelzner, Winter, Warburton, Flores, and Dawes Attorney Services.
I'll second.
Manager Ware, do you have anything to add?
Not really from our last meeting. I don't have anything to add. As I expressed there, this would be my preferable law firm to work with. In fact, they've helped me out in a couple of tight situations in between lawyers already for free, providing me some documentation that I needed. So I would recommend this firm and look forward to working with them. I have about 12 items ready to go to them right now.
Any further discussion or questions? Mr. Ware?
Okay, roll call vote on item D. Mayor Pro Tem Howell.
Aye.
Councilman Hubbard.
Aye.
Councilman Weeks.
Aye.
And Councilman Crane.
Aye.
Pass.
This time I'd ask Mark Manley to,
Mayor, council, manager, clerk, just wanted to say that the county just got word that the Rural Air Service Enhancement Grant came through in the amount of $1.4 million. So not the full amount that we were looking for, but that's $1.4 million that we did not have.
good job.
And so just wanted to say that the provider, there'll obviously be many more discussions on all of this to come, but initial indication is that the provider is interested and can still make things work at that amount. And it is for charter service. And as we all know, there are times of the year when there just aren't a lot of folks trying to get here, and maybe a lot of folks trying to leave for mud season. But nevertheless, the service may be sort of as you would expect, perhaps mid-December towards the end of March, and then picking up Memorial Day through Labor Day or even later. But all those are discussions to come. But the good news is that the state saw fit to grant 1.4 million for over 2 years. So it's a lot of hard work that went into that, with you, Mr. Mayor, and Chairman Trujillo. It was my pleasure to go to Santa Fe with you all, and I'm glad that it looks like it worked well for the community.
Great news.
Yeah,
Thank you for all your hard work.
my pleasure, my pleasure.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind if I add to that, I think a nice letter to Senator Campos would be in order. He supported this as our state senator. And also, I just think it's a great example of what we can do when we all pull together, us, the resort, the county, and other businesses in our community, business owners. So this is a big day for Angel Fire.
It really is. Let's go. Well, thank you all. On that note, this meeting is adjourned.
Recording stopped.
Marcy, when did you hear?
What's that?
Like just an hour or two ago?
In the parking lot.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
Record for a meeting.
And they said it would be in July.
Yep,
They made it.
they made it.
Cool.
Well, I'm
See you,
glad,
sir.
you know?
Yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Thank you, thank you. My hearing aids just chose the wrong time.
Brad,
We can keep all of our meetings for 20 minutes.
We're gonna have a 3-hour discussion.
Yeah, the work session helped.
I got to call me in tomorrow. Hey, how are you? Good. Good to see you. Yeah. I got to, we have to do a contract.
yeah, first engagement. Okay.
Broadcast, but there's two of them I haven't been able to get on. I like it better first. Congratulations.
Really?
So there's a can't get the VA on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We need to go out there once a week. Oh, yeah. I do, yeah. I do real basic.
So for the comments in the conversation.
Got me thinking of me. Oh, yeah. I was gonna do Smash Bros. And the mayor will call out.
And you have to stand up to the podium and say your name.
On YouTube.
Okay. Sure, yeah, okay, sounds good. And the burgers are good. We talked at
Yeah.
we spoke on,
Yeah, we do it a little different. We do the gluten-free bread. If I want to find it, I tend to go and
but yeah, you still in
Yeah.
Florida.
They come out pretty good.
Happy to be in the humidity in Florida.
Yeah.
Bad for my health, so that's what I like it here. Now I just gotta see how much nice will be here because she's not a super cold weather person.
Okay.
So that's back and forth doing that. But good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right,
Good job.
welcome
You guys
back.
are doing well. You know, it's a great job up there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trying.
Yeah, it sounds like good things are happening.
I had heard.
You found housing and everything just going the wagon?
Well, I heard there was an applicant too that wasn't necessarily a fit for you, but had some forestry experience that rounded over, so.
I know the kid.
Good. Get that too. If I was out, it's been a meeting, so also the follow-up tomorrow.
Oh, no, we have.
Well, I think.
Monday, we have to do it. If you do it on Monday, it
Oh,
has to
okay.
be
Well, I
Thursday.
think if it goes.
If you do it on Tuesday, it has to be Friday.
So fire and after, we're obviously heavily using resources.
Just let me know. Or let, Rocky know, but Rocky's gonna have to do the announcement in there for,
Because they were looking for more help and.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
sir.
let's training for
Have a
stop
good
in
service.
and learn all about you.
If you run into your resistance, please do know a couple people.
I don't think they will. Mayor Crawford was very helpful and.
No, I can't.
His last name Dick, of course.
I was just trying to add some
You
context.
talk to anybody, of course, you're like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. So,
The people.
Fingers crossed.
That's all you can do. That's it. That's it. Good to see you. Enjoy. Shake another hand.
You wanna go out and walk and, you're headed out, maybe?
Yeah,
Congratulations. Sorry to interrupt.
Come back on.
So I probably didn't do a good job explaining that.
Let's go outside so you get fresh air and you're heading towards your rest.
Not being subject to social security.
No, only that, the difference in pay. So I was only trying to support what you were saying.
Oh, I see.
In addition to.
So, yeah, because social security is only withheld from the first 80 hours, right?
Yeah. And so I just went
That's
through this on my own paycheck, and I have been watching my social security throughout my career. I used to pay heavy contributions early on, and then we moved to the 75-25, and at that time, we did a reduction in social security, and they stopped withholding, to your point.
That's what I'm trying to get to happen. Any help I can get, because Taos did it, but nobody that works there remembers how they got it
Same
done.
with me. Well, that was in 96, I think, that they stopped doing that. And they just stopped withholding. And so when I looked at my benefits from Social Security, it showed that I had like a 15-year blank of where I paid very little amounts. And those were only for my part-time jobs that I was doing in between. So then when I started working at UNM, I resumed that. And so I was starting to look at quarters. But I did some investigation in that. And even though I had the maximum amount of quarters fulfilled with my 10 years there previous and adding to it now, that I will still only, no matter what, only be eligible for a portion of Social Security because that state retirement. And so that came across wrong. I apologize. I didn't.
So, no big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say it. What I was trying to say is the firemen, in my opinion, deserve the extra pay because their hourly rates aren't as high. I think they deserve it.
I totally do too, and just full disclosure, other departments that I've worked with have even given a 8 or a 10-hour holiday pay. And so you would get paid your hourly rate, but you'd get an extra 8-hour or 10-hour or 12-hour at a time-and-a-half rate. You could choose to cash that in, or you could choose to take that time off, and it would be used as banks. So most people just, usually if you didn't make an option, it would defer straight to going on your check at 8 hours a time and a half. So if you work that day, you're working your 8 hours, but then you get 8.5 hours on top of it, or 10 hours at time and a half on top of it.
And I think what we're looking at is you working, you get paid whatever that is, but then you get a straight pay for the holiday. Question, right now, it's 8 hours.
Your base
It's
rate
limited.
plus 8 hours at time and a half, or 8 hours straight pay.
Straight pay.
Gotcha.
Because it says in our policy that holiday pay does not count towards,
Productive work
time
hours.
and time and a half. So it's straight 8 hours, but what we're doing is looking to expand that to either 12 or number of hours
So a straight
worked with a minimum of 8.
So the straight 12 would be the same monetarily as a 8 at time and a half.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So that'd be a wash, but I agree, like, only if you work the holiday would you
Right,
receive
only if
that.
you work it.
If you didn't work the holiday, then 2/3 of our staff would not get that. And so that's another way to look at that, because only the people who work.
Well, right now they do. Right
Okay.
now, well, if they're full-time employees and they're not scheduled on a holiday, they still get holiday pay,
Okay,
8 hours.
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
So you're not working on the holiday, you don't get
If
paid
you're-
your
if you're
hourly rate,
full-time.
but you get your 8-hour holiday pay. If you're working, you get your hourly rate, plus you get your 8 hours straight 8 or straight 12 if you're proposing. Got it. Makes sense. I think that's reasonable, and I was trying to
I
support
mean,
that.
because effectively, it's working on a holiday, you're getting double time at least. And if it's
For 8
overtime,
hours, yeah.
if it's overtime, it's double and a half.
Yeah, if that happens to fall at the end of your pay period where you've already satisfied
Or
your work
It
requirement.
doesn't really, as long as, it could fall at the beginning, but it could lead to, if you worked a bunch of hours, it could lead to overtime later in the week that you're working regularly scheduled hours, so
Yeah,
I guess it just depends on how you look at it.
yeah, a lot of ways to skin it, but I do appreciate the gesture, and thank you for
Well, we want, to me, when I looked at the numbers, I thought 30 grand, this is.
For an entire year
People
of holiday
happy.
coverage? Yeah.
Well, you gotta look at it like, we're already paying 8, so it's only 30 grand additional.
Yeah.
And it's not that many employees. Like I said, only on a busy weekend, on a busy holiday, we have 25% of our employees working. Most of the time, it's 5%.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 3 firemen and 2 police officers.
Yeah.
That's usually it.
A quick, easy, hopefully, question came up today in regards to Marianne, one of our employees, and she is in a designation of part-time. We don't have part-time for any of the designation for anybody in the department. She and I had a discussion about what that looked for her and everything else. She doesn't care so much about the exercising the employment benefits as far as healthcare insurance, and she doesn't use that. She wants to make sure that she stays on as the part-time designation. Does that mean that we must schedule her for 30 hours, or could we consider a
26. I think it's 26.
Could I get clarification for that? And
Yeah,
because
I'll find out
she
for
was,
sure. I'm pretty sure it's 26 to
what
be
we-
part-time.
okay. What we're currently doing is, as I understand it, 24-hour work shift and then 6 hours of work from home. And because work from home isn't offered to any other employee, I'd like to eliminate that if she would agree to that and everybody would agree to that. It sounds like she would be, as long as she keeps her part-time designation so that she's considered for vacation accrual and everything else a part-time employee.
I'll look at it.
Okay.
Why don't you, if you remember, send me a text or an email, I'll look at this.
I'll email you about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard you say
I have a
that.
lot of gray
I've never heard
hair.
you say that before.
Thank you.
You talking about Mary Ann Ferguson?
Yeah.
Hell of a good name.
By the way,
Worked with
you
her in
just,
Council.
I'm sure you know, but I mean, she did a lot of the admin work for T.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We dug into it today. I think we had a great, healthy discussion, and yeah, it looks like she's willing to stay on for as long as she's willing to do that. and I'm grateful for that.
She knows how you keep her.
Would we be able to change job titles perhaps to an educator? It sounds like most of the functions and roles that she exercises now is of an educator. She keeps track of all her education and stuff like that. Could we change her designation as a part-time educator?
You just need to do a PT, a BAF on that.
As long as she agrees to that and she's happy with that and everything.
You did a PAC 4 and changed her title, I think that'd be okay.
And with the job description review and making sure that everybody agrees to
Yeah,
it.
you'd have to, if it's a new title, you're gonna have to write the job description and then run it through Tammy McClendon and HR and make sure that, I'm sure Tammy, you guys know what the job description is, but she needs to review it.
Okay. And it sounded like she was great with that, so. Cool. That's all I
Sorry,
have.
real quick, do you have some, Chief?
Yeah, I was just gonna,
I need to talk to him in private real quick.
okay.
You know, I'll come right back. This won't take 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jerry, I apologize for missing your, I had a resolution already done for OHB. I put a number on it and everything, and I just didn't put it together to get it to you.
That last line,
We'll change
the
that.
last paragraph, yeah, we need to change that.
I have some standard language for that.
Yeah.